Hey YouTube, Soulkill here, and the universe is going to end no matter what we do, no matter what any succeeding species try to do, or anything tries to do, it's going to end. Now this won't happen for a very long time. In fact, it's believed that the universe will end in 10 to the 100 years, and this is a number that is just so much larger than anything that one person could easily comprehend. So we're not going to be alive for it, almost certainly, and this planet won't exist anymore. None of the atoms in this will likely be in the same positions that they're in right now. But that doesn't mean that this is infinitely far into the future. It is going to happen eventually, and there are several main hypothesized ways that the universe could end. Probably the most famous one is the Big Rip, and this goes on dark energy. You may have heard of it, I've made some videos about it. Dark energy, we don't know much about it, which is kind of why it's referred to as dark energy, because we're in the dark about knowledge of it, but it's just a term given to whatever's causing the universe to expand at a faster and faster rate, because originally it was believed that, and this is another theory that I'll talk about afterwards, but it was believed originally that the universe was going to slow down in expansion, but it's actually accelerating in expansion, and eventually it's going to be expanding so quickly that the forces of expansion will be able to rip apart individual atoms. It will start with galaxies ripping apart, then solar systems, then planets, and then things the size of humans, then atoms themselves will rip apart in the Big Rip. The whole universe will be ripped into elementary particles, its most basic level of stuff, basically, just floating around in a void, continuously expanding so quickly that they can't touch each other, but then moving away from each other so quickly. The second way, which I hinted at earlier, is called the Big Crunch, and it's the old idea of how the universe would end, where you throw a ball up, it's going to come down eventually. They believe the universe was expanding, but it was at a slower and slower rate, and eventually the universe's expansion would stop and reverse, and it would come back down together, and this energy in it would be concentrated at a closer and closer together until the universe heated up to an incredibly high amount, and well, nothing would exist anymore. The temperature would be so high, potentially high enough that the wavelength would be shorter than the Planck length, i.e. higher than 142 million degrees, which is a huge number. But these aren't believed to be the most likely outcomes. The most likely currently is heat death, and this is because of entropy, which is a force that guides the whole universe. It's why when you tip a glass over, the water spills out and spreads out over the area. Entropy is basically trying to make everything as evenly spread out as possible, mainly energy as evenly spread out as possible, and it's believed that in 10 to the 100 years, all entropy will be at its highest level, i.e. all energy and all matter will be spread out equally throughout the entire universe, leaving it as just an infinitely dark void with nothing going on in it, and this will never change.